welcome to Innovate Africa. And as you know, we cover the businesses that impact lives on the continent, and we speak to the founders of those businesses to find out more about how they go about achieving that. Sometimes we revisit businesses, and today we're going to revisit a company we spoke to about 3 months ago. They're known as Vault22. And their main aim really is to drive better financial inclusion by getting people to use their money more effectively. It was a partnership between Standard Chartered Ventures and Old Mutual's Next 176. Greg Flash joins you today. He's the head of wealth. Now, Greg, I think the first thing to pick up on, since the last interview I did with Benito, the founder, and of course the CEO, you won an award. Tell us more about that.
We were really excited to win the F&B App of the Year under Financial Solutions. We won it previously under our old branding, under 22/7, so it's great to win it under this brand, and it solidifies that we're an app that is providing solutions to people in the financial space. It's really useful, and we're glad to get the accolades, and we've got lots more to do.
Let's just rehash once again, why does Vault22 exist? Why do you get out of bed in the morning?
So Vault22 is evolved from 22/7, which has been around for about 13 years and was a financial budgeting and debt management PFM app, a personal finance management app. And now we've evolved it into Vault22. We changed the branding. We're actually a global company. We brought in new shareholders, where it used to be just Old Mutual owned, now Standard Charter and Franklin Templeton, two very large financial businesses, are our shareholders there. And we are now actually a global app. South Africa is a big focus, but what we're doing now is bringing the full financial fitness and wealth management to everyone. You don't need to be worth millions of rands to have financial advice given to you. So we're providing that through the app. So we're a financial wellness app, and we drive it through our financial fitness score, where we say, what have you got in savings? How are you paying your debt? How are you budgeting? How are you living within your means? Do you have insurance? Do you have enough saved for retirement? All these things come together and you get a score. And that helps you engage and live a better financial life, which is a better life.
Now, I totally understand that you've got legacy customers from 22/7. That's obviously evolved with Vault22. What sort of customer feedback are you getting now that you've at least developed a little bit of extra traction?
They don't want a boring financial app. They want something that is relevant and fun and gets to the point. And we are getting more engagement, and where we're bringing in our wealth side of the business, where we're providing investment products, very important that it's accessible, relevant, and understandable. It mustn't have jargon. You need to treat people that they aren't financial people. And the average person isn't a financial person. So we need to make sure that it's understandable. There's so much complexity out there, and being financially sensible is not that hard, but you need to cut through a lot of that complexity. You need some guidance, which is what we bring. And you need to, when it comes to investments, you just need to invest. That's probably the most important thing. Get investing sooner rather than later.
Something that worries me tremendously is the fact that South Africans don't save. Some would say they don't have enough money to save. I just think that a lot of South Africans just don't spend their money correctly. And yes, of course, there's a huge base of South Africans without any money at all. So let's talk about what you're doing as Vault22 to address this.
I think everyone is very challenged with what they have to spend, but we all know that we need to save. Everyone knows, doesn't matter what income group you sit in, you need to try and save for the future. The problem is that the options that you have out there are either very complex or there's too many of them. There's plenty of platforms out there that say, here you can come and invest on our platform, but they give you hundreds of options. And if you're not that way inclined and you're not interested in the markets, but you know you need to invest, you don't know where to start. So what we're trying to do is provide curated options, give you some financial advice and guide you towards getting invested.
I recently learned that you've formed a partnership with Capitec now. What's so significant about that? I mean, you've got, integrations into other banks. What makes this so special?
So we are connected to every financial institution and bank you can think of in South Africa. And some of them we're connected via API. Basically means that you can connect in the back end. It's much more secure and it's seamless and it's quicker. With Capitec, this took a while to organize and to get sorted out, but we've worked together with them and we will be the first fintech that have API integration, which means for our users, and there's plenty of Capitec users who couldn't access their bank account transactions through the app because things changed on the Capitec website, that will be gone. And now those users can come back onto the platform and they can get their transactions and we can categorize and help people budget like they always could on the platform. We're very excited because we are the first one to do that. And it is the step towards open banking. Open banking, the idea is that you own your data. Just because you bank with a bank, you have the right to say, share that data with somebody else, with a fintech, so that I can do more with that. You own your data. And we've got a long way to go in South Africa. There is work being done, and this is a big step forward, and we're really excited to work with Capitec.
I hear what you're saying about giving people advice on how to use their money more effectively. But what about helping my money grow? What about investments? Do you have investment opportunities on the Vault22 platform? If so, just give us a bit of an insight into some of the options.
I think the key thing that we focus on is the advice side. So we need to understand things about you, the investor. We can see that from your expenditure. We can see that with your bank accounts, and we can see what you're spending on groceries, on Netflix, on alcohol, and what you potentially could save as well. And now we've got that information, and that's critical, and that helps you. We also need to understand your risk appetite. That's your risk profile. How much risk you're willing to take on. So we can take you through a very simple risk questionnaire and we get a feel for that. Then we offer you some goals. What are you trying to save for? Retirement, buying a house, paying for student university fees for the future, etc. And that we can do. And then we bring you a curated offering. And we're a platform. We will bring you various options. We'll bring you portfolios that we've curated together. We'll bring you asset managers that we think are good solutions for you. And we don't really care. We're not tied. We are independent. And so we don't make more money off one product or another. That's very critical to understand that. We just want you to get invested and to stay invested. And also we're not about trading. We don't make money on you buying and selling things. We just want you to be invested. We started with pretty traditional investments. So there's no crypto or digital assets yet, but that is coming onto the platform because there's so many different ways people can invest. We're starting with a simple offering of about 10 plus options of different funds and portfolios. And we don't want to overwhelm somebody, because if we give them too many options, they actually don't do the investment.
I just want to state the obvious here. Innovate Africa, the show, deals with impacting lives on the African continent. How does Vault22 contribute to impacting on people's lives in South Africa and the broader continent?
Well, I think we're bringing investments on now, and that is a new thing. We've been a budgeting and categorization. It helps people understand where their money's going. And people keep coming back to us because, particularly at this time, when they're doing taxes and they have to go and download statements from elsewhere and it takes time. People, what do we all not have? Time. And we're about trying to save time. So that's the impact. People come back to us because they want to make things efficient in their lives. They want to get past the mundane stuff, and they want to make it work for themselves. They also want to understand what they're doing. So that's the whole thing we're trying to continue everywhere we go on the platform. And wealth is not just the investment side. We'll bring insurance products and debt consolidation and maybe a credit score enhancement, all of these things to try and make it fun and save you time so you don't have to go to so many different places and have one place that you can get all this information. And we've done that with data. We've done that already, and that's our modus operandi, is to do that wherever we go on the platform.
I'd just like to circle back to the investment side of things. Something's just popped up in my mind. A company I absolutely love, they're called SunCash. They take something illiquid, like a solar panel, and they break that solar panel up into blocks on the blockchain. I can then purchase a block for, I don't know, $20, $50, $100, and then I become part owner of that particular solar panel. And what happens then is whoever pays the electricity generated by the solar system effectively pays me as a part owner. Do you see Vault22 potentially bringing those type of solutions on board?
For sure. I'm aware of the opinion that whatever investments are available out there, if there's a need for them, we'll provide them on the platform. And what you're speaking about there is both a digital asset, crypto kind of token, as well as being an ESG, environmental, social, and governance type of product. The way investing works traditionally was traditional investments, and it was for saving for retirement. But now, particularly younger people as well, save for a different reason. Not only just for retirement and long term, they also save because of ideological views. So offering something like SunCash, which is an ideological plus a new tech, and it also diversifies your portfolio. It's critical to have many different things in your portfolio, everything. I think that we could have gold ETFs, we can have digital assets and Bitcoin and normal stocks in South Africa and stocks in China. It doesn't really matter. We'll provide it all to you, and we'll also give you guidance on where you might be overweight in something and there might be risks that you don't see, because that's what we're trying to do. We are providing financial and investment advice to the masses, and at a cost-effective price and easy to use.
In these interviews, everybody always looks so relaxed. It looks like you all get a great night's sleep, no worry in the world. But if you've built a business, you know things aren't always that easy. So let's talk about some of the pitfalls that you encounter when it comes to building a solution like Vault22.
I think it is about testing, and you can think you want to be like, not like Elon Musk, but like SpaceX, and you want to test things quickly and blow up your first rocket ship and then launch the second one. When it comes to money, you can't do that. It's people's money. We have a fiduciary responsibility to look after people's investments. So you can't just go there and test without having everything in place. Putting everything in place is really hard in this space. From compliance to working with the regulator, to working with the existing traditional institutions that might exist. And you're a fintech which is trying to evolve and be innovative, and you're working with organizations that have been there for decades, and they don't want to go into the new space, or they know they need to, but they struggle to go there. So it is perseverance. I think the thing is passion. If you really believe in the product, and you should believe in the product if you're an entrepreneur, then that keeps you sustained. And I can say that myself. I've been in the investment space for almost 20 years, traditional. And this is the most excited I've been, because I can actually see this doing good for the average person. It's cutting out costs. It makes things more efficient. Saves time. That's all everyone wants.
Finally, Greg, your advice to entrepreneurs, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, great ideas. They want to go out there. They want to conquer the world, but they haven't taken the first step onto that tarmac known as the future of the business. What advice do you have for them?
I think don't be an inventor. Understand the problem. It's the usual thing out there. Understand the need and try and fill that need. If you build a great product and no one's going to pay for it, then you have failed. That's the problem. And I've seen that in previous careers I've had. We've had great products. Just do that. Understand the problem and create a solution, and then you can focus on that solution.
Greg, thank you very much for your time, and there you have it. Innovate Africa, impacting lives. Companies like Vault22, they certainly impact lives by making sure that your money goes further so that you can do the things you want to do, empowering people like you and empowering people like me. And we need more corporates like Standard Chartered Ventures and Old Mutual's Next 176 to support these type of ventures. It's those type of partnerships that really drives impact. I'll see you on Innovate Africa next week.